Binge the full week of The Ray Taylor Show ad-free over at inspireddisorder.com/plus.
This is the Ray Taylor Show.
Rayz Dayz, episode 94 of the renamed show that used to be called Rona Dayz, but I've decided to rename it Rayz Dayz, just because I don't think this pandemic's going to ever end. And I don't want my weekly updates to always be in reference to the pandemic. Even though that's when it started, I felt it's time to let that go and just rebrand the weekly diary episode that is Rayz Dayz as such, and moving on with the same number because it's the same podcast, just renamed. It's even the same initials, RD. So I just got to get used to yelling it in the fashion that would suit the original Rona Dayz. So rest in peace, Rona Dayz, and welcome Rayz Dayz. So my week was pretty productive. I worked every single day this week, very busy, and that is because I mentioned it on Wednesday, but I'm going to mention it and talk about it a little bit more today, is that there are now separate podcast feeds for every different Ray Taylor show. And what I mean by that is that my movie and TV show reviews are all going to be in one feed, Ray Taylor Show, and then search movie TV reviews. Swipe Up is going to have its own feed. Rayz Dayz is going to have its own feed. My top fives are going to have its own feed. And then every different show that I do an episode-by-episode breakdown of, which I have done Ted Lasso, Squid Game, and I just started on Dave. Each one of those will have a separate RSS feed. So if you don't want to subscribe to the entire week, you can still do that. That will still be available. I am basically going to be managing like 7 podcast feeds at this point, but I'm used to it. In addition to the ad-free version, which you can get still over at inspireddisorder.com/plus if you become a member. One of the benefits is the ad-free, bingeable. All 7 episodes are released Monday without any ads, and you can listen and or watch all the full week right away when you become a member over there. But if you are not a fan of every single thing I do on this show, maybe you don't like Rona Dayz. Maybe you don't care about what happens on my week-to-week basis. I don't blame you. You don't have to. Maybe you just like the movie reviews. Maybe you like movie reviews and then listening to me talk shit about politics or just anything that's going on, a.k.a. Swipe Up. Maybe you just want those. You can subscribe to both of those. 2 separate podcasts. The release dates are also changed. So the movie and TV show reviews, previously it was Monday, Friday, Saturday. Now it's Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So those are spaced out a little bit better. Tuesday is still my episode-by-episode recaps. And again, I'm currently in season 1 of Dave, FX show. It's also on Hulu. Just recently did episode 2. So that will be on Tuesday. Thursdays will be Swipe Up, so the show where I comment on current events. And then Saturday, which is the day this came out, Rayz Dayz will be on Saturday. So my weekly updates are going to be basically a week delayed because I record everything on Sunday, so it's coming out almost a week later. So, yeah, which is fine. I don't need to have everybody know everything I'm up to the day, to the time, unless you're a Plus member, and then you get to hear about my week immediately. But for everybody else, that will come out now on Saturdays. And then Sundays remain top 5. So that's how things are spaced out now because the movie TV reviews, I figured spacing that out 3 days, that works better. Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And as far as those go, the idea is Monday is generally a new movie or TV show that's out. Wednesday will be a franchise movie, which I just finished doing the Oceans franchise, which I will be doing the top 5 of tomorrow. And then Friday is usually like a classic movie that I haven't seen. This week, I mean, that will be flexible. This week I did Ocean's 8 and because I wanted to get done with that franchise and move on. But that will kind of be the loose format for those moving forward. So that's been something I have been working on, which, is fairly easy, but takes a lot of work. Getting everything submitted and making sure everything's correct when submitting it to Apple, to make sure everything going, make sure I upload everything correctly. There's a lot of back episodes for the movie and TV reviews that I want to put out. There are a bunch of back episodes of Top 5 that I want to release, but they will all be there eventually. And then moving forward, all of them will be released on a daily basis. And then all of the shows, the episode-by-episode recaps, Ted Lasso, Squid Game, and Dave, those have started to release, and every Tuesday there will be a new episode released. So as those are kind of getting spread out, even though they're available. You can go back and listen to them in the main feed. So that's one of the big things I worked on. Worked on for probably from the moment I woke up to the moment I went to sleep for a couple days. And while doing that, I did not feel like cooking. Sometimes when I'm in work mode and I'm lost in work, I'm not trying to take too many breaks. I'm trying to ride that momentum and get as much done as possible. So I decided to do something that I haven't done for a long time, and that is order a pizza. I pretty much always just make my own food. I haven't had fast food in forever. The only time because every time I go to order something from like Grubhub or whatever, it ends up being like $20 for like a basic meal. Whereas I can order $20 of groceries through Instacart, and then that could be multiple meals for me. So that's kind of what I've been doing. But this was a point where I didn't even feel like making anything basic or reheating leftovers. It's like, let me get a pizza. I haven't had a pizza in a while. There's a Domino's that's close, and I have some points that are going to expire soon. So it's like, why not go get a pizza? Not that it was a free pizza, but it's like, why? I'll pay the $20 and get a pizza. And this is how I was reminded why I haven't had pizza from Domino's in forever. Most would think diarrhea, food poisoning of some sort. No, that wasn't it. That's not the problems that I've had. If you've been paying attention in the past, probably over a year ago, I talked about it on a Rona Dayz. But the way this Domino's is managed is mind-blowing. It doesn't make any sense. And they got technology. They got the pizza tracker, so you know exactly when they're making it. You see exactly when they're putting it in the oven. You see exactly when they're doing their quote-unquote quality check before it gets delivered, right? So they got the technology. There's transparency there. But that's where they messed up. The Many Faces is an ongoing abstract ink portrait series that I started many years ago. I release a new face every day, but go to inspireddisorder.com to check them out. So many available. But as a listener to The Ray Taylor Show, you can save 10% when you use coupon code INSPIRED when you check out. So go to inspireddisorder.com/TMF, that stands for The Many Faces. Go check them out, browse the entire collection, and when you decide on a piece, or maybe multiple pieces, make sure you use coupon code INSPIRED when you check out, and you'll save 10%. As a big thank you for checking out my work, for collecting my work, and for listening to The Ray Taylor Show. And with that said, let's get back to the show. Because I put in my order, and I get a call, and I don't answer my phone. Never answer my phone. It never rings, first off. There's only a handful of people that even have my phone number. Never answer my phone. And I knew who it was. I just placed the order. but I knew I had an idea. That is when I was like, oh yeah, that's right. That's why I haven't had Domino's, because despite the fact that like I know how to use their inability to run a business in my favor to get free shit, still means that like I'm going to have something bad this is not going to be good. It's going to be a bad experience. So they call, I let it go to voicemail. I see the manager on the phone is saying that your pizza is going to be delayed at least an hour because we have to send our driver on a break. First off, who the fuck gets an hour break ever? Ever. Second off, you got one driver? You can't get another driver? This is how the business is run, that you have a driver that needs to take an hour break at lunchtime. So I got to wait, which I'm perfectly fine waiting an hour. I wasn't like starving. I was lost in time. I was just making sure I ordered it so that I have food to eat along the way while I work. It wasn't the time. It was how they use that time that I had the problem with. Because they have that technology, I'm looking at my phone. I'm like, so when they call, I know it's like, okay, it's going to be an hour-long wait. I will complain. I will file a complaint through the app, which, by the way, is like impossible to do. It is like you have to like jump through. Nothing works on the app. You end up going to like things, send emails, answer all these stupid questions. Like it's progressively more hoops I have to jump through every time this business messes up. But I don't care. I don't like, it's not their fault. It's not even the manager's fault. I'm sure he's not allowed to hire another driver. It's the Domino's Corporation, which I'm sure has giant rakes for all of the cash they are putting into their satchels. I have an idea that a giant corporation like Domino's can afford to hire more people. But like all businesses are not. Or they can't find people to work for the shitty pay that they offer. Either way, it is the responsibility of the corporation who fucked over. And those are the people who I'm getting the free fucking food from. As far as like the casualties of working at a Domino's, and it sucks to you provide shitty service, but still they were at fault too. So even though I know I'm getting this free pizza, so I'm like, fine, fuck it. What made me angry is the fact that they put the fucking thing in right away. So now I'm seeing, like, I'm getting this pizza for free, or I'm getting credit for a free pizza regardless. I know that. That is going to happen. But what I would hope wouldn't happen is somebody with a brain in their head knowing that their driver is going to be an hour away from taking his luxury break. That means my pizza is going to sit around for an hour instead of them waiting to put that. Just imagine I put an order in for an hour in the future, which you can do. If you don't want the pizza right away, you can schedule a time. But they don't bake that pizza the moment the order comes in and then holds it until the delivery time. They put it in the oven so it comes out nice and hot right before the delivery time. That is not what they did. So now I'm like, I'm going to get a shitty fucking pizza. I'm going to get a pizza that's literally been sitting in a box on a counter or a rack. I've worked at pizza places. I know how this shit works. A pizza that's been sitting out for an hour is not a good pizza. So now I'm kind of angry. It's like, even though I'm going to get a free pizza out of this or whatever, I know this one's going to suck. It might give me food poisoning because it's been sitting out for an hour. It took like from the time it got out of the oven there via their technology during the quality check, quote unquote, that took an hour to do before the delivery driver came back from his luxurious break. It's just going to sit in a box. So it's like, whatever. I mean, I'm hungry. I will eat old pizza. I'm not going to throw it away. That's just, I can't. I can't, throwing away food? Are you kidding me? Throwing away pizza? Pizza's like, I mean, out of the foods that I would feel okay with eating sitting around for an hour, pizza's one of them, but I don't want to be paying full price for that shit. That's not the intended product I want from a company that the CEO probably makes a shitload exponentially more than the highest paid employee that works there. That's not what I want. So the pizza finally shows up. Like I'm watching the delivery driver. I mean, it looks like 10 people, including me, got fucked. Got old-ass pizzas. So it finally shows up. I put contact list. I always put contact list because I don't... What do I need to see the delivery drivers? Put it outside my door. I'll get it. I don't care if it's sitting on the ground. It's been sitting out for an hour anyway. What is concrete going to do to it? And they gave me a free, smaller, old fucking pizza. Probably a pizza that was canceled. I would imagine that delivery driver showed up at somebody's house and they're like, I don't want this pizza. This is disgusting. Right? They have higher standards than I do. I have very low standards. Like, it's just being poor most of my life. I can't stomach the fact throwing away pizza that might still be edible. Can't do it. Like, even if it gets me sick, I'll be like, well, at least I tried. So they gave me a free pizza there, but it was old. I mean, both of these pizzas were old as fuck. But I ate them. I still ate them. They're still, I mean, they sucked. They weren't good. They weren't good. I didn't even try and heat it up. I was lazy. What do you want? But I got like, I know I got credit for like, I'm probably going to have to pay a delivery fee or some shit. But what happened last time this happened, where it's just like they put their driver went on break, or their driver wasn't coming in till later. For some reason, like a business structured around delivery, not having enough delivery drivers seems like a really big problem. Seems like a really big issue in your whole, what you choose to spend money on to run a business. So it's happened before. And what happened after that is that I was like, instantly, I put in an order, and then I would get the pizza first. Like, it would come out of the oven. I mean, I'm close to the Domino's. Like, it's not close enough to walk, but it's, like, not a far delivery drive. So I would get that. I know what fresh is from that Domino's. And this is 2 pizzas that had clearly been sitting out for at least an hour. And not in any kind of warmer situation. Like, these are room temperature pizzas. But I ate them because I'm a dirty fucking person. And that's where I'm living. While I'm setting up all these RSS feeds for everything else. No, when you're listening to this, if all you care about is listening to my weekly updates, which it is what it is. That's kind of it's weird, but I put them out, so it's my fault. Just know that while setting that up, I was eating bad pizza. Just not good. But join Inspired Disorder Plus today. Head on over to inspireddisorder.com/plus to join. Membership includes members-only discounts and deals. You get access to the Ray Taylor Show completely ad-free, as well as bonus episodes. You get access to the complete live painting archive. You also get access to every single podcast ever produced by Inspired Disorder, hosted by Ray Taylor. You get access to Ray Taylor's personal blog, as well as the opportunity to ask me any questions. So if you want to start a podcast, you're into art, ask me anything. And so many more things are being added every day to Inspired Disorder Plus. So sign up today, become a member, head on over to inspireddisorder.com/plus and become an Inspired Disorder Plus member today. You know, I ate, one pizza was my meal for one day, and then the other pizza was my meal for the other day. So, I'm not living the healthiest lifestyle, but I still haven't been drinking, so, that's actually been nice. And the really nice part about not drinking is the quality of shits that I take. Like, it is amazing the high quality poos that come out of me now that I don't drink. It is I didn't even know it was possible for me to still poop regularly. But let me tell you, it is. It is. And despite the fact I ate old, shitty pizza, I had zero. I think I have a stomach of steel now, now that I'm not drinking. Because I didn't have any problems. Thankfully, knock on wood, whatever. And last but not least, every once in a while, for anybody that's familiar with the art that I do, I'm working on a specific style of how I'm trying to create my art. I have technical ability. If you look at my old work, I used to do a lot of surrealism. I'm technically, I can do really good stuff. I could do like realistic looking things. I choose to do the work that I do with the many faces because I enjoy making art. It's what I've felt, what I've seen in my head, how I feel the medium works on the canvas is how I feel when I use ink on paper. Like it feels the most right for me. And it's an ongoing journey. I'm trying to see what I can do within these parameters that I've set up for myself. But what that does, it is allows people who are assholes to think that they can talk shit to me. And the most common one is comparing my work to something a child might make in kindergarten, which those assholes don't realize is a compliment, because I believe most artists wish that they could get back to the freedom they felt when they made art as a child. Because so many artists get they create this pigeonhole situation where they end up making kind of the same thing over and over again with very little variations. In some ways, stylistically more so. I mean, it's creating your voice. So on some levels, I'm sure it's freeing for them to work in those parameters. But I would imagine for other people, it's like, I know for me, when I started out doing surrealism, I felt confined and compared to Dali a lot, which I took as a compliment for sure, because Dali is a huge inspiration of mine. But I want people to look at my work and think, oh, that looks like Ray's work. I wanted to find an original voice and not do an impersonation of some other artist. So I felt in that way confined. So I feel and I think that people that confine themselves like that, I would get a lot more. If I was still doing that stuff, I would probably be far more popular of an artist. I am not taking the most popular path with what I'm doing and how I create my art. And it opens up for people to think that they're getting one over on me. So I had a troll on TikTok give me a comment of that I'm lucky. I should have really had it prepped, but that I'm lucky that my work is under the umbrella of quote unquote art, because there's no like quality standard that you need to be held to. Like, no, I don't really remember this stupid whatever. He's trying to talk shit. So I go back, I comment back, thank you for coming to my page and sharing your hate for my work. Kind of being like, I really just don't care. It's like, you're very unoriginal with your critique of my work, and clearly you haven't seen the over 1,700 other versions of that idea that I've done, and you come from a very ignorant place, and I recognize that, and I will come back at you because you're not the first troll I've dealt with. You're not even you're not even good. Like, you don't even know how to get to me. You think calling my work childish, and I've had like people I know that I consider, or at one point consider friends, make similar I've subtle criticisms of my work, and I'm used to it. Like, I'm used to it from people that I have respect for. When you're some anonymous person on TikTok trying to talk shit, I have no problem coming back at you, thankful that you came to my page despite the fact that you're sharing hate. So then this guy comes back, or woman. I'm sure women can be hateful trolls as well, but literally, the friend I'm talking about was a woman who said that her child, like, she made a comparison to my work and her child being able to do it, something like that. Very similar. So it's like a very it's just kind of it's an interesting thing to hear. I've heard a lot of critiques of my art all of my art over the years, and like being compared to a child is like amusing. So then this guy comes back again. Maybe it's a they. Maybe they're non-binary. I don't want to impose a gender or sexual preference on this person. But they come back and they're like, no, not hate, reality. I walk through kindergartens and see this work on a daily basis, and I wanted to come back with like, please let me know the locations of these areas. I would like to get my artwork back. I have had a bunch stolen. Like, I wanted to keep playing around with this idiot, but I didn't have time to because they posted that, and they weren't done. It was still raging inside them that they needed to, like, they didn't feel like, they knew they didn't get me. Like, they failed at their ability to like troll me, to like get under my skin. And without even allowing me to play around with this idiot anymore, they post again. And I don't know how close it was. Like, I took some time off after I was like, haha, thanks for showing the hate on my page. You're going to look like the idiot when everybody sees this. So I don't know. It could have been like, maybe he was angry that I didn't come back at him right away. I'm not on my phone like that. But without me responding, he posted again. Oh, you suck. Blocked. And they blocked me. Like, you came and talked shit to me, and then you block me? You're going to block me. That's perfectly fine. You clearly don't like my stuff, so, if it's that offensive to you, not only did you comment on it, how offensive it is, that apparently children's artwork is very damaging to your psyche on some level. There's some kind of trauma, maybe like an art teacher in kindergarten molested you. I don't know what the issue is, but you have problems, and the fact that I wasn't able to facilitate you in some sparring match, some verbal sparring match about how childish my art, you want me to defend the honor of my art? You want me to like challenge you to a duel, you dummy? You're stupid. Like, I give a fuck. Like, the actual reality I live in is far more damaging than this pathetic little comment that you put. But I didn't even have time. I didn't have time to play with this little stupid person, and they blocked me. So, that was kind of a highlight, a fun highlight of being blocked by a troll that like got so mad that I didn't get he got mad that I didn't get mad. They didn't get mad that I didn't get mad, and it was just too much for them to take. They had to be permanently out of this. Like, how dare I? What if I came back with another sarcastic response? Like, it would have ruined their day forever. They feed on tears, and I was just making them cry, and that's not. They don't want to eat themselves. Either way, that was a highlight. So that's been my week. The first episode of Rayz Dayz, the renaming of Rona Dayz, the 94th episode of the same thing that I've been doing for a couple years now, and we'll keep doing. So subscribe to whatever podcast you want. Just search Ray Taylor Show, and then all the different options will show up. I hope everybody's having a great week. New episodes of The Ray Taylor Show come out every single day. Subscribe on YouTube and everywhere our podcasts are found. Binge the full week over at inspireddisorder.com/plus. Buy Ray Taylor Show merch over at inspireddisorder.com. And follow the show on Instagram at Ray Taylor Show. Have a wonderful day, everybody. Peace out!
Today is the day where you wake up and you realize that everything that you've been dreaming about, everything that you've been wanting, every goal and wish and hope that you've ever had can become real. Dreams can come true. What you manifest in your mind, you can bring to reality.